Brian Winchester. I'm with Reach Networks. That's our B2B organization. We also have a storefront called Computers & Co., where we take care of residential needs, and they feed into one another because we are in the local community taking care of your technology needs for not only your business, for you as an individual. Because guess what? There's a lot of technology out there, and we pride ourselves on making that operational for what you need, and we've got the expertise for it. We're out of Newcastle, Indiana, exit 123 off of Interstate 70, and we've been here for 14 years, and currently we have a staff that's growing at 15 currently on site, and we're growing up to about 25 in our partnerships. And yeah, we're excited to be here and help you.
And I'm Jason Padgett, host of the AGI Today podcast and consultant from Phoenix Solutions Group. I'm here to talk to Brian about. I love that you told me that this is kind of your personal passion project, because you used to love selling hardware, and then the cloud kind of changed things, and now it's time for revenge on the cloud. So tell us about that, and tell us all about your product and what it offers that the cloud doesn't.
Yeah, well, like I said, we have a storefront called Computers & Co. And one of our products, we build gaming computers, gaming machines for kids and, some adults as well. And to be honest, that can be kind of a tough market to get into, because you're pricing a bunch and sometimes you sell them, sometimes you don't after you put a lot of work into it. So to your point, everything's going cloud. And let's talk about how important AI is right now. Well, I started looking into, what would it take to just build my own AI environment? And I realized that, not much more than a high-powered gaming machine. And I'm like, I've got tons of those, and I would love to get back into selling hardware and actually solving a need. And right now, the need for AI is for you to feel comfortable and safe that you are putting information that is only your information and doesn't leave your environment. So I've partnered that with our gaming machines, and on our machines, I've put open source AI that is able to run disconnected from the internet within your environment, to where that data is stored and therefore never leaves. So you can have any kind of discussion you want with AI, help you with any problems, and be audit compliant if you're in a regulated business, or just feel secure if you're just using it in your home with your family. One of the things that I've done is I've taken a small AI box that is a low parameter, so it doesn't take much to run. I've got a 10-year-old Dell laptop sitting here next to me that has an old GPU in it. I've taken that and put a 10B parameter on it and given my daughter the website to that laptop sitting in my home, and she's able to ask it questions all day long. And as a concerned father of wanting to connect with my children, I go in and I see what she asks. One day maybe she might be concerned about privacy, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for the time being, as a father or even as a business leader, why wouldn't you want to know what your culture is, what your family is doing? Why would you not want to know that to make the best decisions possible? And then at the same time, to your point, Jason, I would love to sell the hardware that's installed on. So we're developing a product that goes on-prem in your organization. It's both technically secure and administratively secure. We come in with policies and governance to make sure that we're following any regulations that you may need to meet. And therefore, the last thing I'll say, if you're concerned that your AI box is going to take over your world, just take a bat to it. You know where it's at, and it's in the next room.
Don't say that. The robots are listening.
Yeah, I guess they are.
For people who might be this is a fun fact, I think. One of the things you brought up about it being a gaming chip, and for people who are like, what do you mean you're using gaming computers? NVIDIA was originally a gaming company, right? And so when neural networks first were discovered and large language models, and that whole framework, they found out that gaming chips, GPUs, are actually originally gaming chips were like the food that these things needed, or the networks that these things needed to operate on. So it's not that odd that you would say this is originally gaming software, because all LLMs kind of come from gaming programming. Is that not gaming chips? Is that not untrue?
Oh, it's absolutely true. I mean, yeah, NVIDIA got started because, my gosh, I need my Call of Duty to be a little bit faster when I'm smashing people's skulls in, right? So they needed faster hardware to make that work. And in that process of building that, you realize how fast GPUs are and how quickly they can process LLMs. So yeah, you throw in a couple grand NVIDIA into a machine that's built for it with the proper RAM size, the proper CPU, you have yourself an on-prem LLM that you can disconnect and take with you anywhere. It could be your personal AI. And when you think about that, that can become powerful because ultimately hardware is just going to get faster and smaller. So I believe that families, residential people will have access to AI, and it's going to help them schedule their life. I'm using it with my family. If I need to schedule something and everybody has been properly using the AI box, my AI knows when everyone's doing stuff so it can suggest times. In the future, I would love for it to say, hey, your wife has been talking about these different restaurants and looking into them. Maybe you should set a date night. I think that is going to change the way our families can interact.
Well, and it does answer a lot. So I have a B Pioneer ambient listening device, right? And Indiana is actually legally like a one-party consent recording state, so I can wear it whenever I want because as long as I'm okay with recording, like that, the law covers that. But that dam hasn't broken yet. It's going to, right? Because what you're really talking about is context engineering. Like if the AI system you're working with, the more context it has about what's going on, the more it can be helpful and give you the right advice. I think that when you're talking about having an on-prem device, like I turn this thing off at family time because it's an Amazon product now. It goes up to the cloud. Like I like it for business because we're not really doing anything dodgy. I turn it off if we're talking about clients, but I don't care what's like. I'm not doing anything illegal in my business life, and giving up that privacy is worth the efficiency that I gain from having it continuously recording. But now, when you move into like your family life, I think people might be a lot more apt to say, yeah, I'm willing to have an ambient listening device if it's staying on premise. But I don't want Mark Zuckerberg and Sam Altman and Satya Nadella and all these guys having access to everything that happens in my house.
Oh gosh, we've got 4 children. I would hate for my listening device to be shared because the amount of yelling at some point back and forth for getting dishes and chores done it can be intense. We're a loving family. We love each other tremendously. To your point, we're not doing anything illegal, and if I can have some sort of insight with technology to enhance my life with my family and I try to be the best dad ever. I'm trying to ask my kids all the right questions and be involved. But if there's anything that could give me just a little bit of an extra edge to make sure that I am doing right, I want that. And I don't care if, it's, to your point, out in the cloud, because I'm not doing anything illegal. But to the point of our on-prem AI box, we take that out of the equation.
Yep.
Totally.
Yep. And now it's yours. And just really quickly, so that people understand what it looks like to process an ambient listening device, most of the feedback that you get from something is more poignantly directed at like something that you could improve on than like regurgitating the entirety of an argument and being like, oh yeah, you said this and she said that. And like, I think that's how my people envisioned it when I first started using this at work. And I'm like, no. After a week, I download like what we're working on, where we've accomplished, what we haven't, and then delete the rest of the data. Like it doesn't tell me like Cheyenne said this about Lindsay on Wednesday.
Well, if there's a book called Crucial Conversation, which I'm a big fan of that book, and it talks about the intent of what the conversations are about and what you're trying to get to. And I think that's what AI, to your point, can do. You're right. It's not going to break down every individual sentence, but it's going to say overall, this is what you want to accomplish, and this is probably a helpful way to get there, and that's what we focus on, is the intent of what we're trying to do.
I love that. It sounds like you have a great product. How do people get a hold of you?
They can email us. You can email me, Brian, BRIAN, at reach-networks with an S.com. You can also email us at support@reach-networks.com. Unlike most MSPs, you can walk into our storefront. We've got a great little waiting area. We'll serve you a cup of coffee, and we'll talk about technology and operation technology all day. And Newcastle, Indiana.
You like visitors, right? I know that about you.
Well, I mean, I love technology, but listen, man, we're humans first, and we've got to enhance our connection with each other. And it's awesome to be able to build a website and people buy things, you never see them. That sounds great, but especially back in the .com days. But human problems require human solutions, and we got to have interactions like this, whether it's virtual or it's face to face. If I can't see you and you can't see me, we're missing a connection, and it's very powerful for me.
I agree. So next time we meet, we're not going to be sending our avatars to talk to each other.
Well, I mean, I've got my Meta Oculus over here, and I'm trying to figure out how we can do the business meetings and board meetings from it.
That would be so cool, though. Now you're talking about like virtual reality where we feel like we're in the same room. That to me is cool. There are some meetings, granted, that I have to attend sometimes virtually that I would rather send a digital twin to and just get a report from. But I think you're seeing that happening without the physical digital twin. Like half the time I go into meetings, there's more Read AI and Firefly AI attendees than there are actual people. So somebody's just collecting all the notes out of there.
Well, to your point, I mean, once the on-prem AI or your personal AI, once it learns about you and how you do business, and then you start doing things in the virtual world, there will be a time where you can send your avatar and people will think they're talking to you, but they're not. Like I said, I've mentioned it before, the future is faster than you think. Take a listen to that if you like audiobooks, or pick up the hard copy. My 10-year-old daughter is reading it. She loves it. And it talks about all the future and the cool things people are working on that are coming down the line. And when I talk about Star Trek Next Generation, the Holodome doesn't seem that far-fetched if you're reading that book.
Yeah, and privacy is going to be a huge thing, and you are definitely creating a product that allows people to keep their privacy and still leverage this technology.
That's 100% what we're trying to do, is build this box so where you can put it in your organization, your environment, and feel comfortable with it. Because if you're not feeling comfortable with AI, you're just like everybody else. I don't know that I want to use it. I don't know what I can put into it. Where do I start? Well, you give us a call. We'll put a box in next to nothing, and then you can learn how to use AI on your own terms with your own privacy. And then after you and your organization get comfortable with it, we'll have a further talk about how we can start automating complexities.
And I think the flip side of that for your business owners or your CEOs, small and medium-sized businesses, right, is not everybody's uncomfortable. Some of your employees may be overly comfortable, and they may be doing stuff with AI, with free AI tools that you're unaware of, and putting your IP and all kinds of stuff that could get your company in trouble. And so if you purchase something like this, then you can forget about all those worries, because now you have control over what AI is leveraged inside your company.
100%. I mean, and that's, you know what, I say that people that aren't comfortable, you're right. People are shadow AI. They are using it. People say they aren't. They are. And you want to be prepared for that. And I guess what? If you go to a court of law and you didn't have a policy in place and your information got out there, well, you're going to be on the hook for something. But if you give us a call, we can do two things. One, make you resilient with AI, and two, protect you in a court of law. That's 100% our goal.
All right. Any final thoughts?
I've enjoyed doing this. I'm looking forward to making some more content.
All right. See you, Brian.